Handle is that it's Le Labo. I didn't pick it, so I can go check. But it smells amazing. It's a gift. There's like a pop shield here, but I don't think we need it. I'm gonna remove it because it looks ugly in frame. Wait, time is going by quick because I was like, I'm not gonna say anything interesting until it's on the dot, but right. I'm just gonna see one quick thing. One quick thing. One quick. I don't know why it doubles it. Why does it? Oh, is that better? Is that better? Sorry, I'm dealing with my own monitoring. Well, I'm nervous. I'm nervous a little bit. Okay. Okay, are we still sounding good, or did I fuck it up? Sounds good? Okay, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. I guess it's technically the start. I'm gonna go back to this. I'm waiting to be 4 p.m. PT on the dot. Hello. How we doing? Hi. Oh my god, this is so fun. I haven't done that in ages, and also I've never done it on camera. I'm a little sick, so I might like cough like crazy at some point, and I also have honey, so that's what I'll be doing. Y'all, this is too much people. Okay. Am I just eating honey? Yeah, pretty much. I actually started during shelter tour. I would get sick a lot, and so I would have Manuka honey before every show, just like straight from the pot. And I don't think it did anything, but it was a nice placebo effect. Some people are talking about my background, so this is my library. I can't move this camera, but like there's a big book collection over there. There are more books over there, and it's like a bunch of art books that I collected over the course of my travel, and it's a really fun reference that we pull from. Lots of like vintage magazines and architecture books and things like that. And so this is also the room where we make the show with the architects. So with Mike, Molly, Ocean, Shen, and we each set up a different desktop with our laptops or our screens all around the room, and then we all plug into the TV, so we can test the visuals over there. And in fact, hang on. And then over here, I have a bunch of resources. So I have all the props. So this is all like so everything's there, including some unused stuff, and then I have a miniature we made of the show. So we have the tables and like a figurine, and so we set up and like the risers, so it's basically built exactly like the real show is. And And so we set it up in front of the TV so we can preview the show with a little miniature, which is very cute and very fun and very useful. So this is why things like the band and the Hugo 2 are like scaled properly. It's because we test it with the figurine and we kind of move the figurine around. It's like really fun. Who made the mini? Shin made it. But yeah, I have so much here. I have like my memory boxes, which include a lot of fan gifts and just memories. I have research. I have some sketchbooks. I have a bunch of decks of cards because I do magic. So I have a huge deck of card collection. I always have a pack of cards. Like everywhere I am, I always have cards. And I still design magic tricks, and then I have a bunch of like tools and various things that I need. I'm very organized. I'm very type 1. I'm a type A. Everything's like labeled and everything. This is there's a ton of sketchbooks everywhere. This is this one has like all of the band signatures and everything. This is my first sketch of the toys for the band. So came up with the idea during camp, like when we were making the visuals. And so Shane modeled the actual toys, but that was my original like concept. Some furniture ideas, like fashion ideas, storyboard. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. We have a few of these sketchbooks. Will there be toys of the band sold on tour? We're making a lot of cool stuff. Do I still have the EP from the Fireway music video? No, it was a prop. It was sourced. I just wrote a deck with like all the ideas, and then we had them pull all these items. Except the chess pieces, which are also right there. Like, you can see one of them. Also have like stuff like this. The chrome version of the chess pieces were not used in the video because they were not done in time. So we ended up just painting a set like really last minute and having a black and white set, which I think looks better, honestly, because it creates more differentiation with the glove. The glove is not here. I lost it. I left it in France, so I forgot to bring it. What do you think about Fork and Lorem? Who are Fork and Lorem? I should show off my music collection. My music collection is in two places. There's a bunch of records here, and then there's a bunch more in the living room. And my favorites are in the living room because when people come visit, they kind of browse through and they can pick a record. And then if we have a dinner or something, I'll play that. And this is kind of all of my overflow, all of my extras. Why did I think of Mayhem Requiem? It was so good. I was at the taping. And it was so awesome. She killed it. It was so fun. It was a really fun night. And I was honestly like, I hadn't seen Gaga in a long time, so I was a little scared to ask her to go because, I didn't want to just... And then she was so sweet. She replied right away, and it was really, really cool. And the taping was awesome, but it took many months for the movie to actually come out, and the movie was even better. You should check it out if you haven't. It's really cool. Like, actually, I'm not just pandering. It's really good. Did I like Marcus Studio? You mean MKBHD? Yes, it's pretty crazy. It's it kind of felt weird because I've known him for a long time online, like with DM and stuff, but I watch his content like all the time, so I'm really used to seeing him on my screen. But when I met him in person, like for a few seconds, I was a little like, wait, you're the guy from the screen. It felt like meeting Mickey Mouse a little bit for just like a few seconds. Same with the studio, like visiting it, I was like, I know these places. I was a little like surprised, taken aback. And then we ended up chatting with him, and there was another guy from his crew that was there, and we chatted for like 5 hours. I think I left at 1 a.m. or something. It was pretty unexpected. I thought I was just going to visit really quick, and then we just kept on talking, and it was really cool. Yo, you guys have too many questions. It's incredible. I thought it was going to be very low-key, but I'm like happily overwhelmed, Wait. There's so many questions I want to answer, though. Let me, go back a little bit. I can't believe... Wait, hang on. There was some cool stuff that I forgot. how do I? Oh, what are your plans for the VIP soundcheck experience? I wanted to make sure it wasn't just like a meet and greet that's just like standing in line taking pictures, although I'm happy to take pictures, but more of a hanging out, kind of like this, but in person and with the stage. I was thinking maybe sometimes people can go on stage and like I can maybe do photos of them with the band, or I can maybe like play pop culture or just do like more of a Q&A. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do, but I'm going to try to stay for about like 60 minutes to maybe 90, and just kind of feel the vibe and make sure to make it worth it, for people and fun for me. Um, but yeah, it's to be determined exactly. I just know it's gonna be at sound check. There's gonna be everything set up. I want to make myself very available and really do something like unique. That's not just like meaningless photos. Even though like photos are cool, I'm happy to do photos too, but I just wanted to go beyond that. How long before the show will the meet and greet be? I think if the idea is probably that I would do them right before doors. So like if door is at 7, I would do it from 6 to 7 basically. So and then I just when this is very much your most vulnerable era. Thank you. I think so. I think it's gonna be so. This is gonna be. Wait, somebody said I should have put a countdown, cooldown on chat. What is that, y'all? I don't know what's going on. Yo. Oh, I got tricked. Oh my god, the 6-7. Hell yeah. Wow. Wait, how do I do cooldown? Is that a thing? Like I need mods? Yeah, I think. I mean, y'all, I didn't know what the deal is. I was just in OBS, like setting up my little cute things. Like, look, check this out. Right? So I was doing that. I wasn't thinking about mods and stuff. Yeah, I have FLCM opened. I'm not in my actual studio though. I'm in my library, so I have FL installed, but I don't have all of the projects. I'm on my laptop, not on my Mac Studio. Okay, y'all. Okay, explain to me what slow mode is and how I use it. Like everybody else, just like cool down, and then like okay, I do slow and type the seconds. Okay, what does that mean though? Okay, slow. What? Okay, this did not work. Am I not logged in? You need to. Okay, y'all. I hope this is like compelling. I hope this is cute. Wait, why am I not logged into Twitch, y'all? What am I doing? Okay, I'm gonna log into Twitch really quick. Yeah, Madeon learns the internet, right? I mean, at least I did a cool little overlay. Like, come on, that's pretty cool. I made an effort. Okay. Y'all, give me 1 second, okay? Okay, first of all, I'm gonna try to log in. Okay. Okay, it's trying to sign me up for an account. I'm in full grandparent mode. Okay, now 2FA. They sent me the number on my phone, right? My Twitch verification. Yeah, okay, I posted. So now I can do slow something, right? Okay, slow. And let's do 20, right? Okay, I enabled a 20-second slow mode. Is that what you guys wanted? I did it, see? I'm not that dumb. Is 20 good or is it too long? Like, what's the deal? Okay, there's still too many people. Okay. I want it for longer than 20 seconds. No, 20 seconds good. I. Okay. Also, how many people are here now? Oh shit, there's like over 1,000. Oh, that's crazy. Yo, I didn't think that was gonna be the case. Okay, hey everybody, like suddenly the pressure is on. I thought it was just us doing like tech support, but now I feel the pressure to be like entertaining nonstop. So, okay, is there as many people as when I started? Or should I re-explain some stuff? Because okay, yeah, I need muds and everything. Okay, like I'm just kind of dipping my toes in the water, trying to see if I like it, and then re-explain why I have honey. Okay, I'm sick. I'm recovering. I'm actually better. I wanted to do a stream yesterday, but then I was coughing like crazy, and so I have Manuka honey, which is a habit that I got from Shelter Tour. Hey. Okay, y'all. Okay, so assuming there's some new people, hey, I'm Madeon. We're in my library, which is also where I have all my references, all my reference book. Maybe I'll show you some stuff. And this is also where we make the show. That's where we make Victory Live. So when we work on the show, we're all set up around this room, the five of us. You know, Mike, Shane, Molly, Ocean, and I, and we each have our stations. And so I have like modular like furniture that can transform from like a bookshelf to like a desk. It's like a Muji thing, and we all have our computers, and then we're all plugged into the TV over there. And then on the TV, I have this miniature. So I have these little pieces that Shin 3D printed. And like, so see the tables, and then we have the 3D Hugo, and that's how we do the show. And so I actually designed the stage. So I drew it and stuff. It's an idea I had for a long time, and then I picked some dimensions, and then Shin like made the miniature 3D printed and like foam board and stuff, so we can test it. And then when we saw it in front of the TV, like in context, we really liked it. So we got it manufactured, and it's like 30 feet wide. And the craziest thing is when I arrived to rehearsals before Red Rocks and I saw it built, it was crazy because it looked identical to the miniature. It was so strange. Like, you know, these movies where people get shrunken down and they like have to experience the world as a. It felt like that because this thing had been in my library for months. And suddenly it was there, like exactly the same angles, reflectivity, proportions, except now it was 30 feet wide. So that was crazy and very fun. And so all of the things we thought about like worked perfectly, pretty much, which was great. So that was super fun, super satisfying. And I try to design it in a way where like anticipating, like making sure that it's collapsible so we can tour with it. But then the team was really clever in actually like executing on that. And and then to test it, because there's a bunch of lights inside of it, like through those risers. And so I would just put like either iPhones and stuff like that to like test what it's like. And then Shin would use his vape. He would smoke onto the stage to see what it would look like with haze. And yeah, Victory Live production with the miniature was so fun. It was so fun to do, and we tried so many ideas. And camp, so it's what we call when we do the live show, and it's like the five of us in the room, is some of my favorite thing in my life. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It's so magical. And so with the miniature and with this setup and with this room, and I kind of like designed the room for this purpose. So I'm just gonna like blow my nose. Had no issues with the length between the tables for the performance in the test. This was very much by design. So originally I designed the stage to be kind of like much more narrow, similar to Good Faith. And then we were trying to come up with ideas, and it felt like this is kind of too similar to Good Faith. It felt like it. And I had the idea for the band, and I would mock it up. It was kind of weird. Either we were too close together or they were too far away. And so I was in Japan with Shin, and I was trying different layouts. And then suddenly, like in Photoshop, I tried it like really wide, and it was so like suddenly all these ideas came. Like, oh, that means I can have a Hugo 2 on the other side. There's space for the band. You can get all these ideas came immediately. And we were in this like lounge in the hotel, and it was really like a big lounge, but it was empty. And so I started kind of trying to test the distances and see how far it goes to like walk from one side to the other. And then I set it up at home like that. And the somebody says my eyes are intimidating me. Okay, I'm sorry. What's wrong with my eyes? Um, the so by design, they're far away. Like I need to go from one place to the next, and the reason for that is that there's a lot of benefits. It creates space in the middle for me to like sing and perform without looking like stuck between tables. It gives me a reason to move and occupy the space. It creates space for the band, for Hugo too, for all these things. But you're right, the risk is that it looks awkward that I need to walk so much. Because so much of the blocking of the show, and if you're not familiar, like blocking is a theater term, and it just means like the way you choreograph movements. Like, okay, I say this, I'm gonna go from this to there, etc. And so the blocking of the show had to be really intentional. So so it feels like I'm never rushing from one place to the next. Like I kind of stop in the middle. It's like, it always feels natural. You should never feel like, oh, why are the tables apart? It needs to feel natural. But that's something I'm still tweaking with the show. And before we go on tour, I'm going to block it even more. As I add more sections, it's going to be even more specific and rehearsed. But yeah, like figuring out like the wide stage with the tables far apart was such a breakthrough, and I just love the asymmetry because so much of Good Faith was about perfect symmetry, and it opened up so many possibilities once we figured out this wide stage that allowed for asymmetry. You were at the Ultra 26 show and you liked it. Hell yeah, I love that show too. Will I be removing anything? Honestly, I might remove All Your Love, which I already removed at Ultra, just because I really like the flow when I skip it. I feel like going from You Go To like Heavyweight Hoping to The Murder, it just felt like narratively it worked better for me, but maybe I'll just move it earlier. So many questions. Somebody asked me for a fit check, so fit check. This is Lemaire. This is Rick Owens. This is Dries Van Noten. Let me show you. And the pants are custom. The pants are actually the ones from the show. They're black trousers. He's wearing more Rick lately. I only wear the tank tops, because they're like the best tank tops ever and they're not that expensive, and so it's my base for everything, including in the show I wear a black version. But Spikey wears Rick Owens, and originally I was trying to get a stylist to like pull looks, just for the shoot with the band, and then we were gonna return them, and then we couldn't figure it out, so I decided I rolled up with Joey, who plays Spikey, and I rolled up to the Rick store because I saw some stuff online, and then I bought the outfit, and it was so expensive. Like it was a whole budget, and they don't do returns. And so I just had to lean in and be like, listen, this is gonna be the look. And thankfully we actually had to do reshoots, and so keeping the costume was so helpful. So I'm glad I kept it. I'm glad we have it, and we'll make good use of it in the future. I think it's nice that there's like a definitive Spiky silhouette that you can count on, that we can recreate. But yeah, there was some crazy stories with the shoot. There's it all worked out in the end, but I don't want to give you all the stories right away, Speaking of fashion, what's with Juno's outfit? Juno's outfit is still moving and evolving. I think Spiky's silhouette is very finished. I think Juno has a really interesting look in the existing photos. There's a piece of media we're making right now where she has a really different outfit. And we are gonna now she has the next one is this archival Comme des Garçons piece that we recreated in 3D. So there's gonna be different takes, but yeah. You love the lore that Spiky wears Rick. I mean, yeah, it's he's a rock star. Why not? Wish there was a cleaner images of Juno. I have everything. I have one thing that I'm careful about on this stream is that I don't want to just share my screen because I have some crazy stuff opened up. I have the whole lore document with because basically I made an internal wiki with clickable hyperlink so that for every character there's the public story plus the secret kind of backstory, and then you can click on it, and there's a bunch of characters that I haven't introduced at all, and like intertwined family relationships and stuff. So I have like the whole thing, and I have also diagrams of like all the family relationships and stuff. And but I don't want to like leak everything, so like it's open on my computer right now, but you're not gonna see it. Yay, more surprises with Lauren's tour. Yes, yes. Uh, okay, there's questions about European tour and stuff. There is no plan right now. I'm gonna do the US, like North America tour, and then we'll see where it takes us. I want to bring it everywhere. It is so expensive. Like, especially these days, touring is crazy. There's a lot of artists that you love that wish they could tour at all right now, and that cannot quite put a tour together. So that's why I was so happy also that people were so excited about the VIP packages and stuff, because it allows us to do this level of production, which is wonderful. And also it's a cool experience, I think, for people. But I'm working on something in Paris right now. And it's gonna be like a DJ set, but with some, if everything goes well, it's gonna be like a DJ set plus plus, where there's gonna be some elements of the live show. So there's still a bit of an experience, because I can't bring the whole thing, because when I bring the show to a city, I need to fly in like 8 people, and so they have like, and it's the cost of bringing them, housing, hotels, staying there the day before, the day after, etc., and flying in all the equipment, like the whole stage, sourcing things locally. So it's like hugely costly. I think I've never heard of anybody, any of my peers, playing in Europe without losing money. So it's like, I don't know, you're just trying to find the right balance, because my goal is to do the show as big as possible, as often as possible, in as many places as possible, but you kind of have to also like find the balance and stuff. But you know, it's fun, it's worth it. When is this roughly for Paris? It's next month. Yeah, I'm leaking stuff right now. I'm just too much in the mood of Twitch right now, so I'm like saying way too much. I wonder if I'll get in trouble later. Let me check. Let me check if anybody like texted me that I'm in trouble. Wait, y'all. They're trying to set up, so they're like some codes they're asking for. Man, I'm like, okay, let me check. Okay. What's the plan for Zed in the Park? It's a DJ set, so it's kind of more like my Coachella set, I think. But you know, things evolve. I'm gonna add a lot more, and obviously, like more of the music will be out by then. So, fun things. Drop Nantes. I mean, some stuff is like, it's better if you don't drop it though. Like, would you be telling me about Nantes if it had been released? Maybe not. Is Revolution releasing outside the album? We'll see. Will Victory have like a sister album? You seem so relaxed in such a serene mood. That's really kind. And I am very happy, honestly. I'm very grateful in general. That's kind of one of my default things. And I mean, it's been, there's been like really difficult parts of my life and health journey over the past few years. So right now is like definitely the good times, so I'm like really grateful for that. Yeah, I'm very, very, very happy. It's funny though, because the album is about like more difficult times, so there's a little bit of a delta, but yeah. Part of it though is like, I'm trying to protect myself, so I haven't looked. Normally I kind of stalk the like subreddit and things like that to kind of see what people are saying sometimes, and I'm not doing that this time, so I'm just trying to protect myself a little bit, but I hope people are nice. And also I hope people like see the bigger picture and stuff, and I trust them to see the vision. I think what my dream and hope is to have an audience that is like, that trusts me like over the long term. Like, hey, there's gonna be very different eras, and there's gonna be eras that some people like more than others, and you can always trust, like some people I want them to think like, okay, this era is not for me, but I trust that he has a vision and a purpose, and there's going to be another thing next that maybe is going to be for me, and vice versa. And so people are going to be all about this. And so I'm trying to make sure I'm not boring, and try to take the courageous path. And so I feel like Victory is hopefully like a courageous album. But the other thing is also like I think it's really good. Like I think you're gonna be surprised, and I think you're gonna be, if you love the single, there's more, but it's also s- surprising in some ways. I think the last song especially is gonna be so unexpected. It's Porter's favorite song that I've made, and it's so, you'll see. Um, but yeah, and also I think about like the reason why I wanted to do this album like so urgently as well is because I saw the vision for the live show, and I felt like this music was gonna be such an opportunity to build this show. And so I think it's kind of like, I don't know, a lot of my favorite. I don't want to explain myself too much, but it's just like I love this music so much, and I think it was a real risk to put some of it out, and I'm so relieved that some people are like people are like on board and like just trust me to like be like, hell yeah, it's another side of Madeon, and hopefully you want to follow me for like years to come and stuff. But yeah. Y'all, I put slow mode and it's still too fast. Okay. Hi, ladies or hard rock era. Oh, that's great. Somebody says that High reminded them of hard rock Beatles, like back in the USSR, I assume, or Helter Skelter. That's sick. That makes me so happy. I couldn't make it even slower. So someone is trying. No, I'm really curious about how Lonely Space Age is gonna sound. There's actually a hint of it in the live show that nobody quite caught on to. Um, it is a tragic synth odyssey, is the way I would describe it. It's not your go-to, no. Wait, should I do slower somehow? Like slow 60? Is that the vibe, the mood? Okay, wait. Can you guys remind me how to do that? Is it like slash slow? Okay, yeah. I think it's like that. Yes, okay, I did 60 slow. Hell yeah. Uh, Wait, is that a synth solo bit? No, it's like there's lyrics, and they're the most honest lyrics possible. Hey, Maddie chord. I'm so happy when I hear about like communities like the Discord and stuff coming together, because at the end of the day, I really want people to connect to one another. And in a sense, like the music and my art is almost a way for people to love each other. It's not just like about me. So it always makes me happy when people build friendships, and like I'm almost like a topic of conversation between like-minded people that connect. So I think that's some of the stuff that makes me the happiest. Is I want to feel artistically free and understood and encouraged and trusted, but I also want to make sure that people take something away from it that like connects them. It's the note, y'all. Okay, the break. Still lurkers. When somebody said that Nina Geraci and Joey Valence are in the Madeon core, that's crazy. I mean, to be fair, I am like following certain communities that I'm a fan of, that underscores collab when I want that. That would be awesome. Another thing is I love how people, how creative the fans tend to be, like making art, and I think that makes me also very happy. Am I secretly in the Madeon court? No. As I mentioned, I'm trying to. Maybe it's because I'm like, okay, this is like a risky album, so I'm like scared a little bit, but I tried to not look too much. I need to stay brave, like stay on track. So I'm like, I don't know, that's my way to protect myself. Joey was in Madeon, sadly isn't anymore. Come back, dude. What is something new production wise that excited you while making Victory? There's a lot, because I think I came up with some really specific things. Like in Red Jacket, you've heard a few seconds. I posted them. I don't know if you saw it, but it's all synth, and the way I processed it, like all of the crazy, like crunchy things between the notes, is completely generated like by the crazy processing. I don't control it. It just kind of emerges, and so I love that. I love creating chains that are so complex that they generate weird feedbacks that are um, that are pretty unique. And then another technique that is incredibly boring but actually really defining for me has been multi-band sidechaining, where like I'll just use the vocals and then have the frequencies from the vocal lower the volume of those same frequencies in the guitars, because like guitars, resonances, and vocals are very similar, so they can compete. So I use that a lot in Car Crash Baby, and the mix of Car Crash Baby would not work without that. That was really important. And then Dancing on Your Grave, which I guess you haven't heard, but that's also how it works. And so that, what else do I use that for? A bunch of other things, but it's been really magical. And I use Pro MB2 for that, but I can't believe I never did that before. Well, the vocals sound the best they ever have. I don't know if you mean on this stream or on the album and stuff, but I do think they sound really good. I think Car Crash Baby has like a really good chain. I love when it's like that. I love when there's a vocal chain where you can do like a simple performance and suddenly like it comes alive because of the process. Spill the tea about your vocal chain. It's too good. Thank you. I don't even know at this point. It's like so many plugins. It's so many like double things that trigger each other. It's like it's a whole separate project file. It used to be that I couldn't even run it in real time when I was on my PC. And then I got a Mac Studio from Apple that was like so powerful. And so I transferred everything, and then suddenly I could do it pretty much like in real time, which has been amazing. And I don't think I could have made like Car Crash Baby I made last, and I don't think I would have made it if it weren't for that change. What was it like to remix previous tracks under the Victory concept for the live show? It's so fun. I mean, it's so much work too, because I basically reset and recreate new versions of everything from scratch, and there's never enough time. You're like, I kept on changing it, even at rehearsals. I actually flew into rehearsals late because I kept on tweaking things, making new versions. So it was, but I'm so happy I did, because the final version is so, like, I'm so proud of. It's very fun. It truly is, because I prep all my tools, all my toys, and I try to produce really, really quickly and not overthink. And often like the mixes and the power of the live edit is stronger than when I like spend hours trying to perfect it, or even month, so there's something really fun about the immediacy of it. It matches the immediacy of a show. Can we hear some of the demos for the live show? Maybe later. Some questions I do not want to answer. Will I ever do raw vocals, as in without the heavy effect, on tracks like CCB and High? Yeah, but it's basically that. Like Car Crash Baby, it's like, I'm not using this microphone on the album. I've been using the CM15, the Teenage Engineering one. But it's literally like, it literally sounds like, I'm just another crash test dummy. Like I'm literally speaking like this, exactly as casual as this, and then this giant chain makes it sound the way that it does. I love the contrast between Good Faith and Victory. Thank you. Like I like the contrast too. That's why it felt like exciting. How does the LED screen work? Do you bring them to each city, or each venue have their own to rent? So on tour, like the tour at the end of the year, the way it works is we have a big truck, and we rent a huge amount of panels, and it's modular. It's like Lego bricks. They're kind of little squares. I mean, they're like this size, and then we have like hundreds, and then we connect them. They're seamless, and so we build a wall that's basically as big as we can fit in every venue, right? So some venues are going to be a huge screen. Like I think on the show, most shows are gonna be a screen that is like bigger than Ultra. Some of the shows where you can fit even more, it's closer to Red Rocks, and then there's some shows where we have to scale it down just because of venue limitations, and then we just whatever we can fit, basically as big as possible, because we have all these panels and we just build what we can. And then for Good Faith, it was really difficult because the content was made very specifically for an aspect ratio, and whenever we had to shift, it was very tricky. And for this show, I built a whole premiere session where every song is like stacked transparent layers, and I can readjust shot by shot. So for example, when we did Ultra, it's a more narrow aspect ratio than Red Rocks. Red Rocks was 2:1. And so for every single shot of the show, I tweak exactly the proportions. How do I want to adapt it, rescale it? For example, for High, there's like a section in the intro we call the hype edit, where we introduce the band members. And this is a stack of like 10 transparent files. And then I just input some, I have like a spreadsheet that I give, in the spreadsheet, I type in the screen size and the pixel density and stuff like that. And it tells me the exact scale that I need to put things at. But there's also creative choices that are, but for the tour, and anyway, my point is that for the tour, normally what you would do with a show like this on the road is you would have an A show and a B show, like a bigger show and a smaller show, and they're always the same. And in this case, because of the way I laid it out, it's always the exact maximum we can do. So some shows is going to be like taller, but I redo and I re-render the visuals on a show by show basis to maximize for that particular venue. Is there a DP4 phaser DDL on the album? Yes, there is actually on Android, I think. There's some crazy stuff. How was it appearing in the U-Hole_ show? Are you into the music that was played yourself? Yeah, that was crazy. I was just going there for fun. Just to hang, like just to watch the show. And I think they were like, I realized you could be inside of the U-Haul, and somebody told me you should go there, and I was like, okay. And so I jumped up there, and then they were like, oh, do you want to hop on? And I didn't have a USB key or anything. I was like, yes, that sounds great, but like, what should I play? And then I just played around with everybody's like USB and found some tracks and like listened and mixed and stuff. It was completely impromptu. It was so fucking fun. And it made me feel like I want to set up like a record, because normally I DJ with Ableton, but it made me want to like set up a CDJ record box setup, so I could just like go anywhere and do this, because it was just so fucking fun. It was awesome. And yeah, I love that. I think what's unique about it is that it made me realize how different of an era and culture it is than when I started. Because when I started, especially in the French scene, so much of it was about exclusion and your taste and rejecting things and being narrow and specific, which has its appeal. But that show was about playing everything from Cascada to Mario Kart to like some really cool niche stuff. And it's like, good is good. It doesn't matter. Like the good is cool no matter where it comes from. And committing to your taste is what's cool. And I was like, hell yeah. I recognize myself a lot more in the current culture than the culture that I emerged from in like 2012. Is there a chance we see some stems? Yeah, I actually loaded up Fireway. I don't have everything, but I keep everything. So I have like Icarus and everything. I have them. I'm probably missing some plugins, but I have them in my other computer. I know Icarus specifically was produced with the mastering on, and in fact the mastering chain was on twice. So I mastered it, and then the same mastering chain was applied a second time, and so it sounds ridiculous without the mastering change. It sounds embarrassing, which is great. I mean, it just was a production style, but yeah. I'm not gonna eat some honey. That's very good. It's a little unhinged to eat honey like this, but it's giving like Hollywood trend. And drinking water from like an oversized mason jar also. Does Porter give any advice on songs? Yes, he has strong opinions, and vice versa, and which is sick. Always he's typically right, man. He's like very often right. Sometimes he's wrong about which song will be successful, but artistically, I think he is typically right. And he's the one who encouraged me. Like, he heard High, and he was like really intrigued by it, and brought it up, and I was like, okay, like somehow that's the kind of confidence boost I needed. And but yeah. What are some lessons learned from creating Good Faith Forever that you carried over on Creative Victory Live? So much. I mean, Victory Live is to me like the level up from Good Faith Forever, where I think it's more conceptual, more narrative, and but it leverages a lot of the skills we built with Good Faith Forever for sure. But I think the art direction is a little like edgier and less obvious, less symmetry, less so. And we're gonna build more. Like we're updating the show. Just like Good Faith Forever was like V2 of Good Faith Live. Like the tour is gonna be an update, an upgrade. So I think we spent so much. We spent a month, the five of us nonstop making the visuals, and so much of that time was spent doing high and getting the band right. Because even just the green screens, there's so much energy getting that right. And that the thing that took the most energy were high, Chaos Magic, Hugo 2, and Fire Away. And so like, and then Pay No Mind. Oh, Pay No Mind is crazy because Ocean spent like maybe a third of the time of the entire thing making this crazy edit to Pay No Mind with like every single frame was crazy. And it was basically a whole lore dump on the band. And over the course of that 1-2 minute section, so much happened. Like it was the band getting signed and then like selling out. There's like 20 different merch items presented, like tensions, all of the side projects, then the band, like tension within the band, a whole storyline. And it was so overwhelming. It was so cool. But like you press play and you were like, you need to watch it 20 times to get it. So we ended up at the last minute like simplifying down to very, very little. But that means there's all of this stuff that we want to use that on the cutting room floor. But right now, Ocean is making the Red Jacket video. So you saw a little bit of a snippet this morning, but we're still making it. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, the point is that we spent so much time getting the fundamentals of the show conceptually, like, you know, the band, Hugo 2, like the overall usage of the stage, that we still have a lot of room for ideas we have to implement for everything else, including the new songs that we have on the list. So I think it's going to be like a big upgrade. I already love Victory Live. I think I feel really really strong about it, but I think it's just going to be even more fun. But to answer your question, what did I learn from Good Faith Forever is like so much. And honestly, sometimes I see people where I know they're referencing the show, like, and which I'm very proud of, and I reference things and stuff, but like sometimes they reference it a little bit literally and they don't quite get it in certain subtle ways. And it's always really fun to me to be like, you're getting it wrong because you don't understand this one principle, or you're overthinking it or underthinking it. And so I'm always like, we have some secret. We have like a secret Bible of tools. We even have some custom plugins that we got developed to improve our workflow and stuff. That's so. And generally, I think one of the secret as well is we don't really reference other shows. We reference, like, I have like books of opera set design maybe, or like architecture and like photography and graphic design, but we don't bring up like another currently touring show. We try, it's kind of taboo. We try to keep it about a little insular, a little isolated, and mostly have fun. Like mostly have as much fun as possible. People are missing the filters. Oh damn! I should look into that. I want to do maybe some band theme stuff, like with the masks and stuff. That would be cool. It's all budget, you know. Like it's like I want to do everything, and like everybody on my team is so talented and motivated. But I think sometimes people don't realize we're like, it's pretty scrappy. Like it's not a huge project where we have unlimited funds and stuff. Like it's still like we're all like working so hard and we're so motivated, but there's obviously a limit of resources. So it's like you have to give up some stuff, you know. Do I miss my long hair? No, but I liked the idea of having a specific hairstyle and presentation for each era. So by the end of like Good Faith and Gap Year, I was kind of over it. But I just wanted photos. I wanted like the first photo from the Victory era to be like clearly different. So yeah, but no, I don't miss the long hair. It dries quicker. It's fun. And like I just got a haircut though. But somebody who DJed in Ableton because of you specifically, I strongly recommend learning CDJs for the flexibility. Yeah, I think I need to do both because like the Coachella set, I don't think I could have done on CDJs, but I love to be able to do B2Bs and stuff like that. So What are the specs of my Mac? It's so good you can't buy it anymore. That's all I can say. It's like, and I wouldn't. It was gifted, but it's like insane. But obviously the thing though is that you're always bottlenecked by software optimization and things like that. Like for example, I was doing some renders from After Effects, um, for like keying the band, like green screen, and I was rendering it in my studio, and After Effects, like the whole computer crashed because After Effects ran out of memory because it used over 500 gigabytes of memory. It used all of the memory, which crashed the computer. But it didn't need it. No application needs half a terabyte of RAM. That's ridiculous. So it's just that it was programmed terribly and it just crashed because it was like a memory leak. So there's always a limit. Like you can have the best specs in the world, you're still limited by like software design, you know? Do you have any crazy sources? How long was Victory in the work for? It's like a complicated answer. And when the Grender, I don't want to say anything, but it's like I'll answer later. Is there a reason you stick to 44.1 instead of 48K? Because that's a deliverable, for CD. Like I've always been asked by labels and stuff to deliver at 44.1, but unless I'm missing something. Have you ever told where does the vocal chops on Cut the Kid come from? Every chop is from a different song and vocalist. And they're all the most famous vocalists you can think of. And absolutely nobody will ever. You know how like Face to Face by Daft Punk, people have been trying to recreate it, and over like it took years and years, but they did eventually. There is no way that somebody can find all the chops in Cut the Kid. And don't do it because I'll get actually I don't think I can even get sued, but it's like every single chop in that song, the concept was that every chop was from, I had like a folder of all of the best acapellas I could think of, and every chop is from a different song. Somebody's obsessed about asking me if I like frogs, and I don't have a strong opinion, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Do I ever go back and play with the old song files? Sometimes I like for example, I was listening back to the good faith edits, live edits of some of the songs. I was like, damn, it's kind of sounding really good. Like this bass is really good. This mastering seems nice. And so I reopened it just to study and like save presets from it. And also when I finish songs, I export like all the drums into sample packs so I can reach out for them. But other than that, not really. Like I think I'm good at remembering and extracting things, so I don't really need to play with them. Your remix of the Night Out is incredible. How do you feel about that sound compared to the music you make today? I used to not like it. I mean, for a long time, and maybe a little bit today, I didn't love the engineering of adventure era Madeon music, specifically the drums and the transients and stuff like that. I wasn't sure about it. I talked to Porter about it. It's like, no, it's a great sound, and like, so I don't know. Like, I didn't like it for a while for some reason. But then I really turned around and I love playing the Night Out now. But I think the version I play is from Adventure Live, so it's not the actual original mix. I should listen to the original again. ASMR, I guess it's like a really good microphone, so we can do ASMR. Yeah. Somebody's asking to listen to the unmastered Icarus. I'm gonna try to find it and load it up. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. Can you give an estimate of how long the show is gonna be for this tour? I tried to make it the best show possible, not necessarily the longest. So Victory Live right now is about like 62 minutes. So I think the full version is gonna be like 85 to 90, but I might cycle stuff out. But I'm gonna try to make it so that there's like 100-minute worth of things and I can kind of decide and optimize. But I don't love like 2 hours shows. Like I love going to a show and it was like a really respectful use of my attention for 80 minutes where it was nonstop fun. personally. How did you get Justice to let you play Genesis for the first time? Do you mean Generator? We have the same management, so I've met them a bunch, and they, my management was like, "Hey, do you want to listen to the new Justice song?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And they were like, "Am I allowed to DJ it and premiere it?" And they said yes, which is crazy. So that was so cool. I think they gave it out to a couple people, but I don't know. That was crazy. I was like, "Wow! Like, look how far I've come." That's they've been really cool. Like some French people that I grew up with, like they were a little skeptical about Madeon, but Justice was always nice to me, even early on. I remember one time in 2012, they were like headlining some stage, and I was playing much early in the day, like in the afternoon, and they pulled up early to watch the set from the side, and I got so nervous that they were gonna think it's lame that I completely changed my set list to only play like cool music, and it sucked, and I did a terrible job, and I also they didn't stay the whole thing, so I was just too nervous. But like, there's a crazy story with Justice and Magic that I will not tell you, but they're awesome. They're great. Do I like living in LA? I do. I do. I'm really I think the weather is does a big deal because I like to. Okay, so my theory is that New York and Paris is Sonic Adventure 1 and LA is Sonic Adventure 2. Like there's a in Sonic Adventure 1 there's like actually you know what I'm not going to explain myself. It's funnier. Um Wait, okay, I'm so behind on things. So let me just holy shit. Dude, y'all, what are you wait. Can we see more Love You Back demos? There's already, there's a few. Like you've heard a few. Um, wait. Okay, somebody's asking me. Okay, somebody's asking me for like a code. I think they need something for Twitch for some reason. Sorry y'all. I don't wanna. It's rude to check my phone, but. Do you have a song with Sonny? Yes, from a long time ago. Have you met Daft Punk? I have met Guy-Man, which is a dream of mine. They're great. Credit card number, expiry date, and funny number. Let me see. 7, 8, 9, 9. Oh wait, no, that's the Twitch authorization code. Sorry. How was it visiting at Banger Records? It was great. It was a dream. I was so happy. What did I have for lunch today? I had breakfast bowl at 2 p.m. with San Holo actually. Would you say that you betrayed French house to the French? I think that the exact moment of the French scene that I came from was a transitional time. It was like the tail end of like the peak, like Justice, Ed Banger, French Touch 2.0 moment. And so there was definitely some skepticism. I think there were some people that just actively didn't understand. And so I felt more connected to the US at the time because I felt like it was more open-minded maybe to some extent, even though like I loved the French music so much. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think everybody chilled. And even some of the artists that I think were not sure what Madeon meant, they are really nice to me and really on board now. But I think part of it is I think the art got better. Like I think 2012 Madeon I think is less artistically mature than like Victory. And so I'm like at some of these artists they like specifically have respect the like Victory era, which really moves me. What do you think? Can you someone wants me to y'all some of y'all are trying to trick me into saying things you can clip. Um, so I'm like gonna try not to give that to you. What's the hardest song to perform live in Victory Live? Uh, actually, it depends because like Chaos Magic is vocally really demanding because it's like nonstop and also it goes quite high. So when I'm like, and I'm still, with the show, I haven't done the show that many times, so I think I'm like still learning how to approach it vocally, and I think I'm getting a little bit better. And I think for tour, I'll be really locked in. I think it'll sound really good. I'm still like tweaking the chains and stuff. Um, Chaos Magic, if I'm really well warmed up and ready and stuff, is very fun. But it's still like the highest note I in the studio. I didn't actually singing. It's like pitched. So I kind of every time I'm like, should I try it? Should I try it? So I think that I got closer at Ultra to figuring out exactly how to perform it. But I think for tour, it'll be like 100% locked in. But Shelter is probably the hardest in Victory Live actually right now. I'm still like that's why I'm so excited for tour is that I'll have I'll get to do it every night and then I'll be like I don't know, I'll be so ready. I'll be so in it. Some of you are being like, "Oh, when I hear one of a particular song of mine, it reminds me of this other song that's similar." And every time people say that, they're referencing a song I've never heard before, and I'm will never listen to because I'm scared that you're right. So I don't want to hear it. Uh, Beings is possibly one of the greatest songs ever made. It is not, but I'm glad you like it. But it is quite good, and I'm so glad that you and others and have really resonated with it because yeah, I always liked it, but it was in the middle of making Adventure, so there was so much going on, and you kind of lose track a little bit of what's good, what's not good. So, um, my favorite Fred Falk remix is probably Golden Cage. One time, Fred Falk, this actually happened. One time, I was in a bathrobe and at my house, in this house, and the doorbell rang a few times. So I came thinking it's like maybe I need to sign on a delivery or something. And I opened the door and it's Fred Falk. And it's just there in front of me. And I'm blown away because I'm a huge fan. And I'm like scrambling. So I'm like, come in. And then I go and change. And he was there with a friend of ours. We have a friend in common who knows I'm a fan, and then just showed up as a surprise. It was awesome. And then we went through my record collection. We talked. He had so many crazy anecdotes, and like, it was the best. But like, it was one of these. There's a few moments in my life like that where it's like when Lady Gaga first called me, and I was just home with my parents, and my phone rings, and it was Lady Gaga. It was crazy. Or like that, or like this, or like there's been a lot of moments in my life that are where it's so inexplicably unreal, and I'm so grateful for it. I think at least I'm very grateful for every part of my career. Like I don't take it for granted. I think it's awesome, and whenever I'm like on a plane and the seat next to me happens to be empty, I imagine myself at like 12 or 13, and I imagine that I'm there, and I tell myself all the crazy stories. I'm like, here's what's about to happen, and it just warms my heart. Like I'm so grateful. Um, and yeah, that was one of those times. Biggest inspiration for Chaos Magic in particular, I think the guitar tone. I was kind of thinking New Order, but I don't think it really sounds like New Order. But like this kind of chorus on the guitar a little bit. Actually, no, I know what the biggest reference was. It's a French new wave band, um, which I won't tell you. Some great questions, y'all. I thought we were just gonna hang out and I was gonna um, play stems or whatever, or like it was gonna be boring. But there's so much good questions and love and stuff. Let me check something. Let me see if somebody's is mad. Oh, Molly is watching the stream, which is cool. We had a really good time actually editing the Fireway video. She originally I was gonna like edit it mostly alone, and she was gonna be here and do some of the 3D and stuff. And then I got stuck on the edit, and she came and she had such good insight, and she was so perceptive. And I didn't realize that she was like a former like union editor, like she was a editor. And so she would watch and she would have such good comments. Like she was always so interesting. And eventually we wrote down all the scenes and stuff, and we organized it with post-its on my wall in this over there, and then we moved them around. It was great. She was so locked in, so great, you know. And when you work with people, it's like different ways to work over time. They change and you change and stuff, and so it was a side of Molly that I hadn't really like seen before, and it was the first time in a while that we had worked just one on one, because Shen, who did the Fire VFX, was doing it remotely, and it was great. It was great. You guys, there's like 1.8 thousand people. That's cool. That's like more than certain shows like on the tour, like some of the smaller shows, which is crazy. Um, will the Super Platinum Bundle necklace be available at live shows? The Super Deluxe of the album is definitely gonna be online only. But Molly just texted me. She's watching the stream, which is very sweet. But you know, I'm gonna make cool stuff. Listen, we're gonna make cool stuff. But also I'm trying to cycle things out and just know. So I'm gonna see about the necklace. Maybe I'll do it on its own. But right now we're just trying to make sure we can fulfill all these orders, like best possible quality and stuff. Did you see the parody of Hector Verto reprint? I saw it, but I don't know where to buy it. I want it desperately. I just couldn't. I was clicking on the links, and it was like not. It was taking me to the pre-save on Spotify, but not the merch or like the retailers. So I don't know what's going on there, but I couldn't buy it. So, why you gave up on the idea of an album live for Good Faith? I want to do a Good Faith thing, that really does it justice, and I have some ideas. Part of it is that there are some like copyright right reversals things where it's going to be much easier for me to do it after a certain date without asking permission. But I might try to see if I want to do it before, but like it's like one thing at a time. I think it's like it's going to be even more touching and emotional when there's even more distance and nostalgia for Good Faith. So I'll do things. I'll do cool things. Somebody says, how can you spend more than 150 hours on a song and not get bored? Sometimes it's way more. I think that Fireway was a lot of hours. Miracle was insane. The only one I was really quick is High, like and Cockroach Baby. Those were really easy, which is why I like them as singles, because they felt so immediate, and I could sense in them that they were like so straightforward. But often, like all my friends took several hundred hours for sure, and I remade it from scratch. There's like maybe 20 fully completed versions of All My Friends. In fact, there's a version of it that I gifted to Aaron with sorry, like when you're releasing an album, everybody has some, like there's always something going on, like there's like merch and like there's always an emergency. So I'm shutting it down because I want to hang out with y'all. What was I saying? I forgot. Can anybody remind me what I was talking about? Will Victory Live festival shows be different or shorter than the solo shows? Typically at festivals you get like 1 hour. So I think, so typically I try to condense it a little bit. Which I really like. Sometimes I like having like a super like polished 55 minutes that is like the best version of it, rather than like 2 hours that's meandering a little bit. But I guess I have like 3 albums now, and some people are asking what books are in my library. Uh, well, there's this section over there. There's some fan gifts. There's like this VHS of Good Faith. There's some books from the 80s about like the early days of computer images. There's some architecture books. There's some art books from like Naoshima and Teshima and like some of those trips. There's some fashion books like Issey Miyake. There's a few like by Irving Penn. There's some French like novels. There's some Daft Punk book, some Beatles book that you would expect. There's the Paul McCartney lyrics book, which is like huge and very good, highly recommended because there's a lot of notes. It's not just the lyrics. There's at least one magic trick book that I can see right now. There's some books like I got in Japan that are in Japanese that I unfortunately cannot read, but the layout and the cover was really good, so it's more like a graphic design reference. There's a book about postmodern design. There's a book of Dolly Parton costumes that was gifted to me by Ronnie Lloyd, which is really cool. Um, there's there's uh, yeah, just stuff from trips like Casa Barragan in Mexico. Um, the Book of Circles. It might have been a gift by Molly actually. There's like some album cover. Over there I have like a lot of magazines and music zines, which is some of my favorite stuff, and movie like Japanese pamphlets. Um, and there's a specific one that I found that was the main reference for the Victory album cover. So I keep it. It's very precious to me because it's from the 70s, and I remember seeing that image and be like, oh my god, that's the vision. Um, I was working with Sam. It was really cool. I kind of had to follow him around. He was in L.A. for only a few days, and he was doing this show at the Natural History Museum, and I just showed up there and like waited for him to exit the stage because we love each other. We like each other's music and stuff. It's just we just couldn't schedule it easily because we live in different continents. So I was like, hey, while you're in LA, what you doing? And then we finally found a time, and then I had this track. So he didn't produce the track, Red Jacket. He just sings on it, but it's a duet. Like he does the choruses, and he sounds awesome. And I sing the verses. And it's very like early Justicey and stuff. I'm like, I like it. I hope you like it. Show the stems. Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm getting to it. It just oh, somebody said I'm a good designer. That's very kind. I'm grateful you feel that way. Which aspects of the adventure era productions carried away into Good Faith and Victory? Huh. I feel like I'm not that self-aware about it. What inspired your use of scale and GF Live in this new show? Um, I think there's this set designer that does opera. Well, originally it was this French movie called Kirikou that I saw as a child. That's like a bigger French classic. That's very much like um, side profile like silhouette thing. And if you watch it, you might recognize scenes in Good Faith that are like, inspired by it. It's from the 90s, I guess. And there's that. And then after that, I started seeing this like playwright set designer called Robert Wilson, who does his staging for operas is very silhouette based and gradient based. And so I discovered his work after Good Faith, but it was so similar that I felt like, yeah. And so that became an inspiration because his staging, because when you're doing a concert as a solo artist, it kind of makes sense to be in the middle all the time. But when it's theater, it is typically dialogues. So you would need to position two different characters or more, right? And so seeing this style applied to situations that required more than one person was really interesting. And so it inspired me to be like, wow, I'm tired of being alone on stage because I always have to be in the center. And so by creating this like offset thing and having Hugo 2 in the band and things like that, it enables so many more possibilities. In GBG Zine, you mentioned a director's cut of the GBG music video. It kind of doesn't exist. I'm sorry. It's just that I made some VFX shots that I thought looked cool. And so I just, when I was playing around, I was just like doing shots just to practice. And so I included screenshots of it. And then there was a shot of the floating lantern that we shot that I didn't use in the edit because I didn't love it. And so I used some of these screenshots in the zine to kind of pretend there was a long form, but there isn't. Will Slater vocals stay for the live show? I think I'm going to keep it in the choruses, but I want to still sing the second verse because I just think it flows. Actually, I don't know. I might change my mind. But yeah. Way too much of my wardrobe is just your merch. You're the gold standard for musician merch. Hell yeah. I'm really honored of that. I'm trying to make more really good Victory things. And I'm working, like I'm exploring like an additional line that's even more ambitious in terms of fashion and stuff. So there's one item in particular that we have right now that I'm gonna receive the sample for today, I think. That is an item I've been like thinking about for a long time. That's so cool. So yeah, but the thing is that some of those items, to make them really good, they need to be like priced higher. So I'm trying to do some of the stuff that's like at designer level. And they can't be at like merch level, but they shouldn't be at designer like prices either, right? So I'm trying to see if there's interest in making some items that are like higher end, that are like in the 150 to 100 range, but it's like really uncompromising. So I'm exploring that. And then I still want to also make affordable merch. It's kind of like the tickets for the tour, where we made a very conscious choice to make affordable tickets as much as we could. And then also offer like VIP experiences and stuff for people that like want more, but also to offer an option to see the show with your friends, without it feeling like a ripoff. Like I want it to be like really good value, I guess. Yeah. But I'm glad you like the merch and stuff. I feel like I had so much more to like I'm working on a lot more cool stuff, and especially with the band. I think there's so much potential. So there's stuff we're working on for the band merch where I want to get it super right. That I'm just like, yeah, we're on top of. But yeah. Is that a GDA mic? No, it's a U87 by Newman. It's like a studio mic. It's not really like a streaming mic or anything. It's the mic I used for All of Good Faith. And for Victory, I switched to the CM15, the Teenage Engineering one, which is very cute. And originally, I was going to use that just as my backup mic when I travel, and then I liked it so much that I ended up using it instead of the U87. But the U87 is like a classic mic, but I'm kind of over it. I'm over the sound. People are asking for magic tricks, but the thing is that I don't think magic tricks play really well on stream. We should do it in person. But there's a trick in particular that I've been working on in the past few years that I'm really proud of. That's like, I think, a very distinct concept that I haven't seen, and so I call it surgery. It's like a card trick that starts with an X-Acto knife, and I've been sharing it with magicians and stuff, and they like it. So, yeah. But I feel more like a designer than a performer. But maybe at soundcheck I should do magic tricks. That'd be so fun. Oh my god, I'm so behind, y'all. Okay, would you ever want to know? On Penn and Teller, the on Full House, you mean? No, but I want to be in the audience. I want to watch. I've seen them a couple times. Do you have an inspiration in the magician world? I love a Tommy Wonder. I believe he's passed away, but we like to hear you yap. I know I'm like in yap territory right now, but I feel like that's the thing too, is that so much of the aesthetic of Victory was very like fashion forward, and we did all this photography work, and which was very important to me and very appropriate, and there was that kind of this world building. But sometimes I was like, if I don't also talk to you directly, I don't want it to look like distanced or alienating. So I'm like, I'm happy that I get to do this, and make sure that I'm out here. Is there anything you plan for Victory Live that's 100% not making it in the final show that you can talk about? I mentioned the Pay No Mind full edit, which included about like over 100 like completely different frames for a 2-minute song. Like it was essentially, actually even more. It's like and it was crazy complicated and advanced and rich, and it was a whole story. It was like a movie worth of content in a 2-minute edit, which was too much. But it's like, so that's not making it. But I took a lot of the lore from that and I'm using it elsewhere, and we're gonna continue to use it throughout and in the show. But that's not making it because it was too good. It was too powerful. What's it like working with Tom Norris? So it's the first time I got somebody else to mix singles for me. But he used to be my neighbor. He used to be my actual real life neighbor. And so he would come over, and then he became this like mega famous mixing engineer. And so we work remote. I just sent him the thing, and he mixed Fire Away and Cockroach Baby, and I think it's great. I think Cockroach Baby specifically, like the mix was mostly there, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he can make it a little bit better. And then he made it like, he didn't like change the mix that much. But he got it, and he like took it to that extra level where the song became so much cooler to me. And it's crazy. That song is like fragile. Like to be cool, it requires the snare to be just right and everything, and he really like nailed it. I have those stems. I think maybe we'll play through them. I have the stems of Fire Away open, so we should go through that. Does the Good Faith collage wall still exist? Yeah. I was gonna take it down to do a Victory collage, and in fact I was going to take it down during Camp Zero, which was camp for the cancelled. Okay, I'm giving you too much information in lore, so all I'll say is that it is still up, because it's too close to my chest. So, but there's other places in my house that are very Victory, so I kind of like to live within the work, Why House of Blues in Houston? I mean, there's a lot of things where it's what room is available that night. Can we fit the show? Do we think there's enough demand? Like you can't play arenas everywhere and then they're empty. You're trying to like scale it so that you meet demand, but ideally like just right. Like you don't want to sell out everything, but you don't want it to be too. So it's a real science, and right now the market is really tough. Like it's every artist is struggling to sell tickets. We are in a good spot with the tour. We like put it on sale and stuff, and it's like there's a bunch of shows that are gonna like sell out and stuff, which is cool. But yeah, we're trying to be like conservative. So like Houston, for example, we picked that venue. We didn't personally pick everything, but I'm sure it was the right call for whatever was it. Maybe like this other venue you're thinking of was not available that night, and like we have to route it geographically. So anyway. We try really hard to make it the best we can, like the thing that makes the most sense anyway. But I'm really happy. Like a lot of the venues we've picked, I think, are perfect in terms of vibes and in terms of stage, so we can really do the show justice. Was it hard for you to move to the USA? I mean, it was completely improvised. I was just doing some show in LA, and I randomly decided to move to LA. And like immediately visited a house, and that's where I live now. So I can't explain. It was like one of those like moments in life where you just take a crazy leap. Does it bother you getting asked questions about unreleased old tracks? No, I'm grateful that people care. Obviously. How involved are you in FL development? I mean, I was never involved in development FL development. It's just like alpha testing where But a couple times I will encounter an issue, and I'll make sure to like reach out to the team, and they hear me out, which is wonderful. But yeah, there's like a million things right here. Some really sweet things. A lot of things in French, which also moves me. You love to yap. You should make a song about it. I'm just making up for not yapping for a while, you know, cause like, cause like, especially because there was a big gap between Car Crash Baby and Ultra, which I think some people were upset by, and I really wanted to talk and explain and stuff, but I think I was advised like, listen, let's just wait until we can do everything correctly, you know. And there were like a couple of reasons for that. A big one is that I had just some like personal like death in the family. Like I needed to fly to France and take care of that, so that interrupted some stuff. And then there was a couple of other things about like label scheduling and what they want, what I want. You know, it's not. I love the label, but it's just like was not like I was ready for things to be like continuous. But because for example, for Good Faith, I delivered the final albums like 2 weeks before it came out, like 3 weeks, like, and then the vinyl came out a little bit later, which is something they were okay with, but some labels they really 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 want the vinyl to come out the same day, which I respect, but it just kind of changes things with regards to like creating gaps and stuff. And then with Fire Away, there's also the fact that Slater was putting out her album, and obviously like we couldn't put it out exactly at the same time. Then we needed to stagger it a little bit. So there's a little things like that switch things around. But if it were completely up to me, obviously it would have been like continuous. But I don't think it's that bad. I think it's nice sometimes to also like let things breathe, and like lots of things turned out to align. You know, obviously like getting to do Coachella and like premiere the song there, and like so I'm happy about it ultimately. But I just hope fans like forgive me for that a little bit. But you know, I mean, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I just wanna have fun and make people happy and be true to the art and stuff. But I'm not like slacking, you know, like I'm trying. We're all trying really hard, you know. Lots of sweet things. Wow, you guys have. I'm so honored, you know. It's I think one of the things that made me feel like that recently was I played this New York show, and I don't know, it was like a DJ set kind of randomly, and wait, what's up? Am I still live? Okay, yeah, I'm still live. Sorry, I was just making sure things were okay. And I don't know why, but I played the show, and people were so motivated, and they knew the songs, and they were so moved. And for whatever reason, I thought like, oh, it's like a club show, and I'm just gonna like, you know, play like club music too, and kind of like adapt. But then I realized no, everybody there wants to hear Madeon music, and I don't know why I didn't realize that was gonna happen. And it was so magical, and I met fans after and stuff, and I was like, I forgot that I was a thing. I think it's like, I think after a while you like I just didn't realize how lucky I am. You know, that was a real, like, I wasn't faking it. Sometimes I'm like on stage like talking about how grateful I am. It's not like a bit. Like I really feel that way. Okay, I'm done with the yapping. Okay, maybe a little more yapping. Um uh was the backing guitar for Spiky your pick? Yes, it was. And they were really nice because I picked that guitar very late, and I had to be ask the manufacturer to expedite it so we would have it in time for the shoot, and they really helped. So I'm really grateful. It's a great guitar. Do you still play guitar? Yeah, I write songs on guitar a lot. I'm just not very good at it. I play open chords on the capo, you know, but it's like still great too. I still, yeah. Uh, Okay. Let's. Somebody's asking for a remix competition. I don't know that I like a competition, but I'm working with SoundCloud to do something. So I want to give a cappella as a voice and maybe listen to what people make with it. Is there any actual guitar playing on the album? Yeah, like Mikey Freedom Art from Bleachers plays on almost everything. Do you have any pets? I have. Yes. Okay. Due to overplaying everything. Did Cockroach Baby get a physical single because of the show visuals? Yes. For whatever reason, I felt like this. Well, I know why, but like it felt a little like. It felt like CD themed somehow. Somebody's asking for me to French yap for 5 minutes, and I would lose everybody. I think so. Somebody says the cutest cat in the world. Yes, Slater came and said that is the cutest cat she has ever seen. And I feel like maybe she pandered, but I felt like she was sincere. So she liked the cat. Okay, let's go. Let's play some stems. So those are the stems from Tom Norris. So I made the track, I exported them as audio stems for Tom, and then he tweaked them, fixed them to make his version of the mix, and then send them back. And so this is what I'm playing right now. It's the Tom Norris version of the stems. Okay, let's go. So I'm trying to. Can you just let me know that if you still hear me? Okay, hang on. Yeah, for whatever reason, FL is not being captured properly. So let me fix that. Okay. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? Hang on. Yes, okay, cool. And can you guys hear it? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Somebody's asking for the mastering change on Cockroach Baby. It's literally just Pro L2. There's nothing else. It just sounded good in the mix. Okay, I'm trying to keep the. I want to keep the chat. Hang on. I want to keep the chat running while I do this. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're back. Okay. Sorry. They're in alphabetical order, which is not super logical, but all right. Okay, so we got the. I don't know if it's that interesting, y'all, but let's see. We got that kick going, which is very layered. There's this like hi-hat baked in. It's a pretty like dense, like rich kick, you know. That snare is a little bit more straightforward. The percussions, let's see. I made a million versions of it, so it's kind of funny for me to see which version actually made it. And you know, it's a very eighth, eighth led hi-hat type track. So every open hat is kind of different. And then there's this nice pads. I think the tricky one with this was the intro, because I was trying to hint at the chord progression, but not too explicitly. So there's this like, so right now there's no context for chord progression, and this is and then now you hear a little bit of bass in that layer, and there's a little bit of bass there. And then there's this guitar, this fake guitar layer. That actually does a lot. Like, see how different it's kind of a crazy, unexplainable production. Actually, I thought I was gonna run you through it, but I'm honestly confused as like how it ended up in this space. I really like how it sounded in the end, but it's like completely different versions of the guitars. And so this is this is a mix of contact guitar and live guitars from Mikey that we recorded in New York. Oh, I love this sound. That was also Mikey. Such a cool stem. That was like some trillion patch that I accidentally ran through some crazy processing that I think was meant for a vocal or something, and then it created those glitches, and I just kept them. The a cappella I sent him, actually the entire thing as one file because it was too complicated. Oh, actually it was two files. This is the Slater one on its own, which she sounds awesome. And that's my vocals. Which I think combines really well. So I like that. Oh yeah, I love that stem. It's pretty subtle throughout, but it really helps. That's one of the last elements I added. And that's sampled from an unrelated song that I made. Wait, is this all? It is too quiet, y'all? Sorry, I can't figure out how to see the chat at the same time, so. Oh, people are saying the audio is mono. Huh. Damn, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's mono though. Okay, let me try this. I can load it gun. It's to the last of the damage done. Why does it hurt when you call my name? It almost sounds like you're having fun. Oops, sorry guys, I'm back. Thank you for letting me know. No, I was just saying that I was muted because I couldn't figure out how to play you the stems without my vocal just being on the on one side. But um, it's funny. There's some cool details in there. Like there's the vocoder layer, which only appear actually it appears throughout, but fairly quietly. And the vocoders have a different lyric in the chorus at one point because it was like a hardware vocoder, and I just couldn't justify remaking it all for this lyrical tweak. So in the mix, I felt like you couldn't tell, so I just preserved it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of elements in that song that sound really cool on their own. I think the guitars, the vocoder, the verse processing I think is really interesting. It's like a chorus. No, sorry, actually, it's a reverb. It's a room reverb at 100% with a zero decay, which is insane. But somebody telling me like the audio mixer and I'd set it to mono. Like I think I know that actually I did that. It's just that I didn't set it up to split it with the. I don't want to like waste your time by trying to do it, but next time I'll make sure that those are separate things. Yeah. Will there be another stream? There will be. The Fireway kick is so good. Thank you. I remade the kick snare of that song several hundred times. Like actually, there's every for a while for a month every morning. I woke up, I drank a cup of coffee, and I tried to remake the kick snare. And I would be like, "Oh, actually, it's a breakthrough. It's great." Then I would be like, "Actually, it was better last week, etc." It was absolutely insane. Um, yeah, and then okay, so I'm gonna figure out the thing next stream. Maybe I go through the stems a little bit more. I think the Fireway stems sound really cool on their own. The Cow Crush Baby stems are a little bit more of what you would expect, as there's fewer layers, but they're still fun. So I'll play those. But Fireway is like so like stacked. And I really love where it ended up, but you can also feel like the all the individual moments that added up to it. Um, Thank you, y'all. I'm really grateful for this, and I think it's like I love this. Yapping is more exhausting than I thought, like in a good way, but like I'm really admirative of people who can do it like all day every day. Uh, but I really enjoy this. I hope you get some good times. I had a good time. All right, thank you, y'all. Can you feel that like the yap box has like closed? Like all my yapping has been like spent. I'm gonna go like the rest of the night. I'm gonna be like mysterious and mute until next time. Oh yeah, wait. Red Jacket's coming out on Friday, so I'm excited for you to hear that. And then the rest of the album is just 26, which is crazy. I'm so excited for you to hear that, the whole thing. And then I'm going on tour, and I'll see you on tour and stuff. And then will we be listening to old music? I think next time. Let's do that. It's a cool idea. I mean, it was, yeah. Old music next stream. Yeah, let me figure out when to do that. Hit more Manuka, honey. Yes. I have so many questions to ask you. Maybe next time I don't answer your questions. I just ask you questions. Okay, I have to wrap it up. Otherwise, I never will. I love you all. Thank you. Bye bye. Did you guys notice that's an exclusive picture of the band? It's all like unused, so enjoy that.